The 1970s gave us some of the greatest rock bands of all time. But for every Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd, there were dozens of incredible bands that slipped through the cracks. In this video, we're dusting off the vinyl and diving into 13 underrated 70s rock bands you might have forgotten, even if their music left a mark. From cult favorites to one-hit wonders, these bands rocked hard, even if the spotlight moved on. Let's take a trip back and give these hidden gems the credit they deserve.
Sex and drugs and rock and roll.
Foghat was a British blues rock band formed in 1971, known for their gritty, driving sound and boogie-infused rock anthems. With hits like Slow Ride and Fool for the City, they became staples of 1970s FM radio and classic rock playlists. Their music fused blues, hard rock, and a touch of southern swagger, even though they were from England. Foghat's live shows were legendary for their high energy and jam-heavy sets, and their 1977 Foghat live album became one of the best-selling live albums of the decade. Black Oak, Arkansas was a southern rock band known for their wild stage antics, gritty sound, and the unmistakable growl of frontman Jim Dandy Mangrum, often considered a prototype for later rock showmen like David Lee Roth. Formed in the late 60s in, you guessed it, Black Oak, Arkansas, their music fused hard rock, country, and a swampy boogie-woogie energy that made them favorites on the touring circuit in the 1970s.
The folks would be asking where he had been.
Though they never reached the commercial heights of Lynyrd Skynyrd or the Allman Brothers, songs like Jim Dandy and Hot and Nasty gave them cult status. Atomic Rooster was a British rock band formed in 1969 by keyboardist Vincent Crane after his stint with the Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Their sound was a bold blend of progressive rock, hard rock, and touches of soul and funk, driven heavily by Hammond organ riffs and gritty vocals. They saw some success in the early 70s with hits like Tomorrow Night and Devil's Answer, which reached the UK charts. But constant lineup changes and shifting musical directions made it hard for them to stay in the spotlight. As glam, punk, and pop took over, Atomic Rooster's darker, heavier sound slipped from mainstream favor.
Youth of America is living in the jungle, fighting for survival, but there's no place to go.
Wipers were a pioneering punk rock band formed in Portland, Oregon in 1977 by singer-songwriter and guitarist Greg Sage. The group's tight song structure and use of heavy distortion were hailed as extremely influential by numerous critics and musicians. Joined by drummer Sam Henry and bassist Dave Kopel, the Wipers stood apart from their punk peers with a darker, more atmospheric edge and a strong sense of melody.
the truth I see, it's just a mockery.
Their debut album, Is This Real, in 1980 became a cult classic, later praised by bands like Nirvana and Sonic Youth, who cited them as a major influence. Greg Sage, the band's heart and soul, was known for his introspective lyrics and for self-recording much of their work in his basement studio.
In this time we're at the vibe is now.
Mission of Burma was an American post-punk band from Boston, formed in 1979. The group consisted of guitarist and vocalist Roger Miller, bassist Clint Conley, drummer Peter Prescott, and later sound engineer Martin Swope, who added tape loops and sonic textures that gave their music a unique, experimental edge. Though they only released one full-length album during their initial run, Versus in 1982, their influence far outpaced their brief early career. Their sound was raw but thoughtful, blending punk urgency with art rock sophistication. Their songs hinted at a band thinking far beyond the genre's constraints. Mission of Burma reunited in 2002 with Bob Weston replacing Swope and released 4 more albums before they disbanded in 2020.
Sometimes I think of old friends, but they all seem the same. Then I see them and they can't remember my name.
Agent Orange is an American punk rock band formed in California in 1979. The original lineup included guitarist and vocalist Mike Palm, drummer Scott Miller, and bassist Steve Soto.
It's just another bad dream.
The band was one of the first to mix punk rock with surf music, blending the speed and attitude of punk with the twangy, reverb-drenched guitar of surf rock. Agent Orange created a distinctive sound that stood out in the Southern California scene. Their debut album, Living in Darkness in 1981, became a cult favorite, featuring tracks like Bloodstains that captured suburban angst with infectious energy. Though not a household name, Agent Orange's influence rippled through skate punk, surf revival, and alternative rock. Bbop Deluxe was an innovative British rock band led by the brilliant guitarist and songwriter Bill Nelson. Formed in 1972, the band fused glam rock, progressive rock, and a touch of futuristic flair, creating music that was both cerebral and electrifying. Known for Nelson's lyrical intelligence and virtuosic guitar work, they offered something different during a time when rock was splitting into raw punk and polished prog. The classic lineup included Nelson, bassist Charlie Tumahai, drummer Simon Fox, and keyboardist Andrew Clark. Albums like Sunburst Finish and Modern Music featured intricate compositions and poetic themes, exploring modern life, technology, and romance with elegance and edge. Bbop Deluxe remains admired for their artistry, innovation, and the timeless beauty of their sound.
My soul has vanished with the bird who flies.
The Pink Fairies were a raw and rebellious English proto-punk band that emerged from London's underground scene in 1970. Closely tied to the counterculture movement in the Notting Hill freak scene, they mixed psychedelic rock, garage fuzz, and anarchic spirit into a loud, chaotic sound. Their sound was raw, DIY, and built for blasting out of busted speakers. You could say they were the UK's answer to the MC5. Aligned with groups like Hawkwind and inspired by anti-establishment ideals, they thrived at free festivals and squat parties rather than chasing commercial success. Too wild and unconventional for the mainstream, the Pink Fairies became cult heroes of early 70s underground rock. Crack the Sky is an American progressive rock band formed in Weirton, West Virginia, in the early 1970s. In 1975, Rolling Stone declared their first album the debut album of the year. And in 1978, Rolling Stone Record Guide compared them to Steely Dan. Known for their clever lyrics, intricate arrangements, and passionate performances, they developed a devoted cult following despite never reaching mainstream superstardom. Led by singer-songwriter John Palumbo, their music blends poetic storytelling with melodic rock complexity, making each album a rich, rewarding listen. Crack the Sky should be remembered for their uncompromising artistic vision and influence on the prog rock scene. Vardis was a high-energy British rock band that emerged in the late 1970s as part of the new wave of British heavy metal. Fronted by barefoot, blonde-haired guitarist and vocalist Steve Zodiac, the band combined hard rock, boogie, and heavy metal with an electrifying live presence. The classic lineup featured Zodiac, Alan Selway, and drummer Gary Pearson. Vardis stood out from their peers by keeping their sound rooted in rock and roll swagger, fast, raw, and full of attitude. Their debut album, 100 Miles Per Hour in 1980, was a live recording, a bold move that showcased their no-frills power and tight musicianship and gained the band a large following early on in their career. Dury and the Blockheads were a vibrant and unique force in the British music scene from the mid-1970s onward. Fronted by the charismatic and witty Ian Dury, known for his distinctive voice and clever, often cheeky lyrics, the band blended punk, funk, and rock with a playful swagger. Their sound was rooted in sharp storytelling about everyday life, full of humor and grit. With hits like Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick and Reasons to Be Cheerful Part 3, they captured the spirit of a generation looking for something fresh and real. Though never massive chart toppers, they earned deep respect for their originality and infectious energy.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. Two fat persons, click, click, click. Hit me. Sex and drugs and rock and roll. Sex and drugs and rock and roll.
I could be the ticket man at Fulham Railway Station, what a waste.
The Glitter Band were the high-energy, glam rock, powerhouse backing band turned standalone act in the early 1970s. Originally supporting Gary Glitter with their tight rhythms and catchy hooks, they soon stepped into the spotlight with their own string of hits like Angel Face and Goodbye My Love.
I see your picture.
Known for their sparkling stage outfits and infectious beats, the Glitter Band captured the glittery, rebellious spirit of glam rock. Though not as famous as some peers, their influence on the glam and pop rock scene remains undeniable.
Got to get you ready fast. Who knows how long your looks will last? Everything is here to stay. Let's get together and do it. I ain't made it yet, but when I do, all I got you'll get. Why play this song now that I have found?
Arrows were a British glam rock band from the early 1970s, best known for their catchy hit, I Love Rock and Roll, which later became a massive success for Joan Jett. Led by charismatic singer Alan Merrill, Arrows mixed infectious pop hooks with a raw rock edge and charming stage presence. Despite their relatively short run and limited chart success, they built a loyal fan base thanks to their energetic performances and memorable songs. Their weekly TV show, Arrows, gave them a unique place in British pop culture, helping introduce rock music to a wider audience. And there you have it, 13 underrated 70s rock bands that deserved more fame and recognition than they did. Do you remember any of these bands, or were there more that we missed out? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on the great music that we churn out every week. Until the next video, keep those nostalgic vibes rolling.